Hey, what's going on? Coming at you from Chicago, Illinois. So, I did that pretty cool video with James. If you watched that video, that was the reason why I did that video is I drive part time as a bus driver, so I have a break in between the morning and the afternoon. So I was just doing some errands, and then I saw this guy doing backflips, just um, like at the intersection. Typically, what I usually see is like homeless walking in between the cars, but this guy was doing backflips. I didn't think he was homeless. I just thought he was doing it as a way to make some extra money. But then he kind of shared his story. So that's how I was able to capture that video, um, by having that little break in between um, the work shifts. So that's what I do, and then I also work part time. It's a fast food establishment, like slash restaurant type experience. So I do those two part time jobs. Um, they they don't really pay, obviously, a whole lot of money. Um, part of it is just my life consequences of just just poor decisions and procrastination in the past, and um, yeah, just I have to take responsibility for life choices. But that's part of the reason why I do YouTube. It's just to give me that creative outlet, and I'm sort of contemplating like other ways to like make um, money on the side. I still am receptive to finding other, like an actual full time work with the whole benefits. And the thing of that, I don't necessarily want a job where it's just going to end up like draining me, and then I'm not. For me, it's going to end up turning into a chore to end up doing YouTube. And then and then sometimes I just enjoy working out as well. I know that I do want to make more money, but I just don't want to be. I don't want a job that's a profession that's going to like end up draining me. So, I guess I'm just keeping my options open. So yeah, I just share. I'm sharing with you guys the type of work that I do, because on this channel I want to be open and honest. And if I can't be open and honest, then I'm just not gonna post. I'm not gonna make any videos. And that doesn't mean I have to be that open, that honest. But I do want a sense of sincerity coming through with the videos. So hopefully that sense of sincerity does come through in these videos. And it's just a balance. Sometimes I'll be a little bit sincere. Sometimes I'll be a little bit more easygoing. It just depends um, on the video, how I'm feeling while I'm making the video, and the subject matter. It just it all depends. So I'm gonna do oh, really quickly. Um, there are some professions that that are like hiring, that I could apply to, that would be full time and more money. But part of the situation is that those professions would require working with the general public, and so there's more. risk involved, I guess, if you want to call it that. I would have to like look at all the options available. I wouldn't just automatically just shut it down. I would just have to, consider the pros, the cons, things like that. And I'm not going to get into, what jobs that would require risk working with the general public, but on the whole subject of professions that would involve risk because of having to work with the general public, I wanted to touch on that subject and just discuss an article briefly, and then I'll do my usual spiel with reading from a Christian book, and then the Bible, and then I'll just wrap it all up. So with this article, this is from foxnews.com. Title of the article is Oakland, this is Oakland, California I'm talking about. Oakland violent crime surge leads lifelong resident to flee city. I can't take it anymore, in quotes. And then the subtitle underneath the actual title of the article, it says Oakland NAACP member says community needs more policing. And this is an article from August 8th of 2023, this current year. And I'm just going to read 2 paragraphs from that article. It says, as Oakland sees a surge in reported violent crimes this year compared to last, while homicides are down, robberies, burglaries, and rape are all up by double-digit percentages. CNN reporter Kayung La, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, said in a statement on Crime Tuesdays, so this was back in whatever Tuesday in August. And this person with the spelling of LAH, this is what they said in quotes. Everyone we talk to says it doesn't matter your race, your income, everyone seems to be a target, La said. So it appears to be nightmarish, a nightmarish type city taking place over there in Oakland, California. Obviously, in Chicago, it's notorious for its crime. There's crime, obviously, in New York. There's crime. It appears that there's crime in Phoenix, Arizona. Miami's always, I think they've always been synonymous with crime. It's just the country, the world is just becoming nightmarish, and this is this is the consequence of not having our Creator in our lives. If we don't have our Creator, it will become nightmarish, a nightmarish world to live in. So now I'm going to be reading from this book that I typically read from, As It Was in the Days of Noah by Jeff Kinley. And I'm going to be reading from the first chapter, which is called The Days of Noah. It says, but the rising tide of sin didn't stop at the gender border. Women were not innocent parties in Noah's day, but were equally enslaved to sin in all its various varieties. They were just as complicit in wickedness, wantonness, and disregard for decency. There was no shortage of she-devils walking about God's relatively new world. Proverbs 29:16 states, "When the wicked increase, sin increases, but the righteous will see their downfall." Simply put, the more sinners there are, the more sin there is. That was the case in Noah's day. People hurt each other a lot. They fought, they wounded, they murdered, and it was violent. Every homicide was considered justifiable simply because of the mere desire to commit the act. "What's yours is mine, and I will kill you to get it," was their murderous mantra. People killed in revenge, for pure pleasure, curiosity, or even sport. Random killings, senseless slayings, spur-of-the-moment murders, savage slaughters, massacres of entire families, or perhaps even whole people groups. Sounds hard to believe, doesn't it? Like some primitive sci-fi apocalypse. How could people have been this bad? How could human beings lose all traces of dignity and decency and act like this? Wouldn't a common sense survival instinct kick in at some point and bring relative order to such a world? Apparently, it didn't. But why? The answer is found in part by understanding something about sin itself. So, as horrible and terrifying as their world was to live in, it appears that history is repeating itself. So, now I'm going to jump over here to the Bible. This is the One Year Study Bible. And you can read this Bible every day. So I'm going to be reading from here, September 14th. That is the date that I'm filming this video. And I'm going to be reading Proverbs 23:12. And just one line here. It says, commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to words of knowledge. So I think that's a good way to wrap up this video. Just one last time. Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to the words of knowledge. Can you imagine what this world what it would be like to live in if we heeded those words? It would just be unrecognizable. It would be the thought of this current world would just, I think it would just be horrifying to us to even imagine allowing ourselves to become so barbaric and uncivilized if we heeded the words in the Bible. But apparently society is just, it's very darkened, it's very godless, and like I said, nightmarish. And that's the consequence. It's going to be a nightmarish life to exist and to live in without our Creator. So that was today's video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.